powerful earthquake struck northern Japan, sending violent tremors through cities, towns, and coastal communities. The sudden shaking triggered immediate tsunami warnings, emergency evacuations, and widespread fear across multiple regions. This is a breaking news update on the major earthquake that has just hit Japan. What we know so far, what areas are at risk, and what authorities are doing right now. At approximately 11:15 p.m. local time, a strong undersea earthquake struck off the northeastern coast of Japan. Seismological agencies recorded the magnitude at 7.6, making it one of the strongest earthquakes to strike the region in recent years. The quake originated deep beneath the seabed, roughly 50 kilometers below the ocean floor, just off the Pacific coast. The shaking was intense across Aomori, Iwate, and parts of Hokkaido, with some areas registering upper level 6 intensity on Japan's seismic scale, strong enough to knock people off their feet, topple furniture, and cause structural damage. Within minutes of the quake, tsunami warnings were issued across wide stretches of Japan's northern and northeastern coastline. Authorities urged tens of thousands of residents to evacuate immediately and move to higher ground. Initial forecasts warned of possible tsunami waves reaching up to 3 meters in height, raising alarm across coastal towns and fishing ports. Hours later, the warnings were downgraded to advisories after measured waves were smaller than expected, ranging between 20 and 70 centimeters in some locations. Even so, officials stressed that dangerous currents and sudden surges could still occur. Videos shared online show terrifying moments as homes shook violently, lights swung from ceilings, cars rocked in the streets, and residents fled into the night. Rail services across multiple regions were suspended as a safety precaution, halting commuter and high-speed train lines, while inspectors examined tracks, bridges, and tunnels for damage. Airports reported temporary disruptions, and some roads were closed due to minor landslides and debris. Hospitals across the affected regions activated emergency protocols as injured residents began arriving. Dozens of people have been reported injured so far, mostly from falling objects, shattered glass, and panic-related incidents during evacuations. As of this update, no large-scale building collapses or mass fatalities have been officially confirmed, but authorities warn that assessments are still ongoing and conditions may change. Japan's nuclear safety systems were also immediately activated. Power plants in nearby regions underwent automatic safety checks, and officials reported no immediate abnormalities. Continuous monitoring is underway to ensure there are no hidden structural issues or radiation leaks. Japan sits directly along the Pacific Ring of Fire, one of the most seismically active zones on Earth, where multiple tectonic plates collide. Earthquakes are a regular reality for the country, but a quake of this magnitude is always a serious and dangerous event. For many residents, especially those who lived through the devastating disasters of the past, tonight's shaking brought back painful memories of loss and survival. The emotional impact runs just as deep as the physical destruction. Across Aomori, Iwate, and Hokkaido, people were jolted awake by violent shaking that many described as lasting more than 30 seconds. Homes were thrown into chaos as cabinets emptied, furniture slid across floors, and power flickered or failed in some neighborhoods. Families rushed to gather loved ones, grabbing essentials and moving into the cold night toward evacuation shelters. School gyms, community centers, and emergency shelters quickly filled with residents seeking safety. Despite the fear, stories of calm and courage are emerging. Emergency responders worked through the darkness to guide evacuations. Volunteers helped the elderly and disabled residents move to safety. Neighbors checked on one another, sharing blankets, water, and information as aftershocks continued to ripple through the region. Authorities warn that strong aftershocks are likely in the coming hours and days. Residents are being urged to stay alert, avoid coastal areas, and follow official emergency guidance. Even small aftershocks can trigger landslides or cause weakened structures to collapse. Tsunami advisories remain in effect in some coastal zones, as additional waves or sudden sea level changes remain possible. Transportation systems are undergoing full safety inspections before service resumes. Trains, highways, tunnels, and bridges are being assessed for structural damage. Power utilities continue to monitor for outages and instability. Residents are being advised to conserve resources and prepare for possible disruptions to electricity and water service. If you have friends or family in the affected areas, authorities urge you to check on their safety using messaging services rather than phone calls to avoid overwhelming emergency networks. People in evacuation zones are asked to remain in shelters until officials issue an all clear. Rumors and unverified footage are spreading rapidly online, and officials stress the importance of relying only on official government and emergency management updates. Tonight's earthquake is a powerful reminder of how quickly life can change. In just seconds, entire communities were shaken into uncertainty. Homes were damaged, families were displaced, and a nation once again faces the unpredictable force of nature. Our thoughts are with everyone in northern Japan who has been affected by this disaster. If you are watching from the region and you are safe, let your loved ones know. If you are following from abroad, share only verified updates, and, if possible, support trusted relief efforts as the recovery begins. We will continue to monitor the situation closely and bring you the latest confirmed updates on aftershocks, damage reports, tsunami advisories, and rescue operations as they unfold. Subscribe, stay connected, and remain alert for further developments. Stay safe.